That's what I like. That's what I like. That's what I love about you.
What up, LIVAH family? Once again, it's your boy Liam and my beautiful, spontaneous, smell good wife, LIVAH, and welcome back to our channel. As you can see, we're back. 2 videos today because we're feeling what, baby?
Chatty Cathy.
We're feeling Chatty Cathy's.
And it's like been a month, so I feel okay like talking about it now, because I would get a lot of anxiety talking about this.
Yeah, so today we're gonna tell you the story as to why we moved out.
Yeah, obviously y'all have noticed that we're not where we usually film, but this is our house now. March 4th, right?
Dun, dun, dun.
Which was a Sunday. And I don't know for some reason why we were staying up later than usual that day, but we were. I think it's because you were editing our crawfish video. Oh, my cousin had came over that weekend and we were editing our crawfish video.
Yeah.
And so, Babe's in bed editing, I'm at my makeup. And we used to live in some apartment complex, and our apartment was right above the pool. And if you went outside of our balcony, or if you looked out of our bedroom window, you could see the pool, which that window had really good lighting, so that's where my makeup was. I'm getting our shit together, and all night that night, we had heard people arguing, but it was normal to us because our kitchen neighbors were always fighting. Our bedroom neighbors were always like fighting, like physically fighting. Like, it was crazy. We just lived by a bunch of crazy neighbors that were always fighting, and it was starting to get pretty old already, so we were already thinking about moving out. And then that night just kind of sealed the deal because we heard our neighbors arguing, and also our downstairs neighbors will always be fighting too. So it was pretty normal to us that we heard them arguing. We didn't really think anything of it. But this situation was starting to get a little bit different because they were arguing from like around 9 p.m. till about 11:30, and it was like they were like screaming. Like, you could tell that it was more than one person, well, more than 2 people arguing.
Yeah, but the yells weren't like their normal, like just like cussing each other out yells. Yeah. It was like you could feel the emotion in their yells. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I just like, because I was random, like in the beginning I was in the living room and I kind of just went into full like squirrel mood. Like, you know, because I heard that and I was like, because the screams kind of sounded like a little kid was hurt, but I could tell like it was a woman. Mm-hmm. And I told her, and she was like, and I kind of like opened the door being nosy trying to see, but I didn't see anything, so I just took my ass back to bed.
Yeah, so they kept on arguing, so then we just decided to go from the living room to the bedroom. And then around this time, it's like about 11:30, and we can still hear them arguing, and then it goes silent for about like 20 minutes, and I'm like, all right, like they're done, whatever. And then as soon, it's like 11:50 at this time, all we hear is gunshots. Straight up gunshots. I just look at Babe and I'm like,
my first instinct is,
that's a gun. Like,
I reach over and I'm just like, turn the lights off.
Yeah, like, and guys, the gunshots were so close to us, we felt the vibrations of the bullets going off.
Yeah.
Right? So then I peek out of our window and I see somebody just taking off, like taking the fuck off, running for their lives, right? I'm thinking it's somebody who was hurt. But now that we have pieced the puzzle together, that was the guy who had shot somebody and was running away.
But first, like, before all that happened, like, you heard the gunshots, and then you hear, like, a Mexican dude starts screaming at the top of his lungs,
yeah,
asking por qué, which is, he was just like, why? Like, why? And that's when Babe looked out the window, and I guess he heard the sirens coming, and that's why he was running.
Yeah.
But then we still could hear that Mexican dude just screaming.
Like, you could hear the pain in his voice, man. Like, it was so scary. And then, so we normally know to mind our own business because everybody's always fighting at that apartment complex. I'm not trying to make enemies, so we always mind our own business. But I called the cops that night. I called the cops twice. And I mean 911. I called them twice. Both of those times that I called, no one picked up. No one. 5 minutes later, all you hear is the sirens coming. We look, and at this point, all our neighbors had came out. We like were on our balcony, but all of our lights were off, right? Like, because I have lots of anxiety, so I was freaking out. I was like shaking and like having a panic attack. It was really bad. Like,
I had grabbed all the cats.
Yeah, Lincoln was crying. Like, it was so bad. Like, he was scared. I was scared. He knew I was scared, and so we're outside. Our neighbors are outside. We see the cops pull up, and then that's when my anxiety started to get worse. Because the cops are running around looking for a guy, and it doesn't look like they are finding him. They're and they're not even like running around like just your regular average cops. Like, I mean, they had some big ass guns, like big, just running around everywhere, like flashing their lights. And maybe things would have been different if it wasn't where it was, where the situation happened. If you were to go outside of our balcony, you see the pool. On the other side of the pool is where everything went down. So every time I would step outside the apartment, I would have a bunch of anxiety. Or like being home alone, it was terrible. Like,
I work all day, and that meant Babe had to stay at the apartment all day by herself, and I just didn't feel comfortable.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna be okay. So whenever he went to work that Monday, I was just at the house, and I was fine until I woke up, which was at 7 o'clock in the morning. He left to work, and I just called my mom, and I'm like, hey, Mom, like, I can't be here, like, and I told her what happened. She was like, of course I'll go pick you up. So I spent the day there Monday, and then long story short is you can't live somewhere where you're constantly in fear. And then my anxiety is so bad. Every time we went to go pick some of our stuff up to move, because we had the whole month to move, because we had obviously just paid rent. We had the whole month to move. Every time we would go back to get some of our stuff, I would start having anxiety. Like, right when we would get to the stop sign to turn into the apartments, my heart would start racing. My palms would get sweaty. It was terrible. And nobody wants to live in that kind of fear.
Yeah.
So we had to move out.
And what sucks is we weren't even like in a bad part of town. So
Yeah.
it's not like we like, you know, like there's some places where you're like, oh, this happens every single day. We weren't in that area.
Yeah.
We were in your more decent area where shit wouldn't happen like that. So we finally finished moving all our stuff in, but we just haven't organized everything yet.
Yeah.
The
hospital, yeah. And so now we live right behind a hospital. Our backyard is a hospital, but you can't see it because we have some beautiful trees that cut for it.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we're officially all moved in. I'm just still unpacking a couple of more stuff and waiting to get a couple things. But once we get fully settled in, we'll give y'all a house tour. And we have a roommate again. It's cool. I love him. Y'all have seen him before.
Yeah, he gave me my first tee shot.
Yeah, so we're living with Carson.
Yeah, so that's why we kind of also haven't been uploading, because we've been busy trying to move from our apartment into the house. And then I have a new work schedule as well, so it's kind of tiring.
He's the best work schedule ever.
I know I've been saying it in the past videos. House tour is coming soon. We're just working so slow.
Yeah.
It's just, we were just putting off going to the apartment because it's just...
I would get really bad anxiety.
Yeah. We literally we finally just dedicated one day to move out, and we did it in like less than an hour.
Yeah. I literally went and packed everything up, and I was like, alright, it's time to bring everything to the house. And then we just took everything to the house, and I'm like, we gotta go.
But yeah, guys, so y'all just stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. Smash that like button. Turn your notification bell on so you know when we have uploaded. Leave a comment down below. And share this video with everybody you know.
Your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your granny, your niece, your nephew, your child, the mama goose. Don't forget the mama goose.
That's my wife. And we will be back with more videos. And this was
Life with You.
Peace.
It's okay, no matter if you're straight